Okay. Good evening to everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. If this is your first time joining my live section, please help me share the link. Help me share the link with a friend, with someone you be a part of what is happening tonight. Good evening once again to every single person. God bless you for joining. God bless you for coming. Please keep sharing the link. Keep telling your friends to be part of what is happening here tonight. Um, So tonight is another glorious night. Um, I think I was live here on, was it on Saturday or on Sunday? I think I was live here on Sunday where I came to give a powerful message on leadership. And tonight again, we are focusing on another aspect of leadership. We're focusing on another key concept of leadership, which actually is something we all need to know about, something we've got to be aware about, right? Um, the topic I actually want to discuss about tonight is something we all need to be aware of. Not just leaders, but as an individual, it is something we all need to be aware of. It is something we have to put at the back of our minds. I'm sorry about the break. My internet took me out. I think I'm back now, yeah? So I think I'm back. Okay, so like I said, these are actually things we've got to pay attention to as an individual. These are things we have to put at the back of our minds whenever we're trying to overcome life challenges, whenever we're trying to overcome certain blocks in life, not just as leaders, but as an individual. And that is what I'm just going to be talking about tonight. Right? Tonight, I'm talking about courageous leadership. Courageous leadership, which means making bold decisions in the face of adversity. Making bold decisions in the face of adversity. Let me say that again. Making bold decisions in the face of adversity. So that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Making bold, decisive moves that challenge the status quo and inspire others to push beyond their limits. So, one of the things we've got to understand as leaders is that we are not just trying to groom ourselves, we are also trying to groom other people. We are not just trying to encourage ourselves to get things done, we are also encouraging other people by encouraging ourselves to get certain things done. We are not just empowering people to know how to overcome life challenges by we overcoming certain things in our lives gives us a roadmap on how we can also help people to navigate through the ordeals and challenges of life. And that's one thing we've got to understand as leaders, because in one of my previous section I said we are built to be able to build other people. We are encouraged by God to be able to encourage other people. We are strengthened by God to be able to strengthen other people. If our work doesn't make meaning to us, then the people we are leading likewise does won't make meaning to us as well as leaders. So as a leader, we are leading not because we feel like leading people. We are leading because we are led and called by God to lead people. So leadership is an assignment. It is a burden God has placed upon every man on earth. Just that you've got to understand where your leadership potential lies, and as soon as you understand where your leadership potential lies, what is expected of you is to make use of that natural abilities, is to make use of those natural gifts and talents to be of blessing to a lot of people around you, to use make use of that natural talent and ability to be a blessing to the people you are leading. So one of the things we've got to understand tonight is that we're going to be looking at how leaders can make bold decisions in the face of adversity. And like I said, it is not just about leaders, it is about you as an individual. It is about me as an individual. How can I make bold decisions in the face of adversity when things are not the way they ought to be? What is expected of me to do, right? When things are not going the way I expect them to, what next should I do as a leader or as an individual? You know, in one of my previous section again, I said for you to be able to solve a problem, you must understand the root of the problem. That is, you must understand where the problem is coming from. You must understand what causes the problem in the first place. So if you fail to understand the cause root of that problem, if care is not taken, will get a hold of you. And if you don't want the problems to get a hold of you, you have to understand where the problem is coming from, tackle where the problem is coming from, tackle where the challenges are coming from in order for you to upskill in life. So making bold decisions in the face of adversity. Understand that it is always very difficult to lead in the face of adversity. It is always very difficult to lead in the face of adversity. And if you look at the lives of the people God called, right, you realize that every single one of them, God called them for a specific assignment here, but in that assignment they are called to do or they are called to perform, none of them was called when they were in their comfort zone. God did not call any of them to feel relaxed or to feel reluctant about doing nothing. Every one of them had or received the calling of God in order for them to be of help to people. right? So it is always very difficult to lead in the face of adversity. So when you find yourself in situations like this where you know it is actually difficult for you to lead people in the face of adversity, you are going through your own challenges, you are going through your own problems. How possible is it that you also is willing to lead people? Do you get my point? Because sometimes the burden people place on us is beyond, is actually beyond what we can do sometimes, right? It's why I said leadership is all about burden. Leadership is about people testing your faith. Leadership is about people testing your capacity, your capability as a person. So no matter how strong you are, certain things are meant to break you. No matter how much you know, you can never know everything. So this is one thing you have to put at the back of your mind as a young leading leader, that no matter how strong you are, certain things are meant to break you. No matter how much you think you know, you can never know everything. So you must come to that place of submission. Be submissive to the people ahead of you. Ask them questions. Talk to them about certain things that is not probably going well in your life. You know, a lot of people shy away from their problems. And because they shy away from their problems, they find it difficult to get help from people. Yeah, a lot of people shy away from their problems. You see, one of the things I have learned over time is that as a leader, there is no point in you hiding your problems from people. There is no point in you hiding your problems from people. You know, the reason why I can tell for a fact that the reason why a lot of people just decide to hide their problems is probably because they are dealing with trust issues. There are certain people in their lives they can't trust. There are certain people in their life, even if they talk to about the problems they are going through, they can't offer any help to them. They can't be of help to they can't be of help to them. They can't render any service to them. So I think it is better for people in this category, right? In this category, not to even talk to people about what they are going through. But when you find people you can genuinely trust with your stories, with your problems, with your challenges, then go ahead and talk to them about it. Because the person seated next to you might have the solution to the problem you are going through. The person you have refused to call for the past couple of months might have the solutions to the problems you are going through. That your dad you've been ignoring, you've not been calling, you've not been talking to, might have the solutions to the problems you are going through. So, as a leader, don't say because you're a leader, then you have grown to that point where you can't even share your problems with people, with the genuine people around you. Share your problems, talk to them about what you are going through, talk to them about the problems, right? Because no matter how strong you are, certain things are meant to break you. On certain times are moments of reflection, visitation of ideas, hope, faith, and perseverance. That is my own definition of tough times. That is my own definition of turbulence moments, right? That is my own definition of difficult times, challenges, and all, right? Uncertain times are moments of reflection. So anytime you are going through the period of uncertainty in your life, it is not the best time for you to question life. It is not the best time for you to speak harshly on yourself. It is not the best time for you to start blaming every single person around you or who have made your life miserable. That's not the best time to do any of those things, because when you are going through the moment of uncertainty, it is actually the best time for you to reflect on what next to do. And because a lot of people don't understand the secrets to this, the kind of time things aren't going, want to judge people, to want to talk to people, to actually to want to look down on themselves. But that's not the key. That's not the point. So uncertain times are moments of reflection. You have to sit down and reflect over your life. Sit down and reflect over the words you have said to yourself in the past. Sit down and reflect over certain things you are willing to change. Sit down and reflect over certain issues you want to solve as a person. So uncertain times are moments of reflection, visitation of ideas. So when things are not going the way you expect them to, it is actually the best time for you to start asking God for ideas, praying to God and seeking God for better clarity on how to navigate through the ordeals of life, right? And uncertain times are moments of faith and perseverance. God expects you to stretch your faith further. God expects you to work stronger in your faith in Him. Remember what Jesus told the disciples, right? He said, if your faith is as little as a mustard seed, you can command the mountain to move or to roll over, and it's gonna obey your voice. It's gonna obey your words. So one of the things you've got to understand in moment of uncertainty is that God is giving you is a chance. God is giving you a chance to stretch your faith. God is giving you a chance to to work stronger in your faith in Him. God is giving you a chance of a new hope. So when you are going through the moment of uncertain times, trust me, it is not the best time for you to start thinking bad about yourself, looking down on your potential, condemning yourself, speaking hurtful words, right, to the people around you, because things are not going well in your life. I think the best thing you can do is to actually hate on every single person that comes your way. But that's not what uncertain time means. Uncertain times is actually saying whenever you are going through this season in your life, it is time for the best reflection. You have to reflect on certain things. You have to seek God for ideas, wisdom on how to navigate through the challenges of life. So understand again that when things seem unclear, it is a sign to get certain information and details that would help you walk through those uncertain phases you are going through. When certain things look so unclear to you, you are not really sure, you are not certain about the outcome, you are really confused, it is actually the best time for you to start asking questions. It is actually the best time for you to start asking questions. Ask people questions. Ask yourself questions. Am I doing the right thing? Am I on track? Am I doing what I'm born to do? So, whenever you are going through uncertain times, it is not the best time for you to condemn yourself. It is the best time for you to start asking yourself questions. So, when things seem unclear to you, it is a sign that you've got to get in touch with certain information. There are some things God want to point your attention to. Is why the face at the moment is not something comforting for you. It's not something interesting to you. It is not fascinating. There's nothing fascinating about your current. That's to let you know there are certain information you learn how to open your mind to receive new informations, to receive ideas. All right. So now we're going to be dealing with a question now, which is why do people find it difficult to make bold steps in the face of adversity? Why do people find it difficult to make bold steps in the face of adversity? Right? Why do certain people find it difficult to make bold steps in the face of adversity? The first one here says uncertainty and ambiguity. Uncertainty and ambiguity. In times of adversity, the path forward is often unclear, making it hard to confidently make bold decisions. All right, making it hard to clearly make bold decisions. So when people are uncertain, it is always difficult for them to move or to lead or to make certain decisions in the face of adversity. So when you are not sure of where you are heading, you are not sure, you are not clear of the roadmap ahead of you, it is easy for you to just want to feel reluctant, feel lazy about making bold moves, right? You just feel lazy making bold moves. You feel reluctant. You don't want to do anything because you don't have a clear picture yet. Picture. It is always easy for them it's always easy for them to feel reluctant about the vision ahead of them. That's because they are not clear about where they are headed. So why do people find it so difficult to make bold decisions in the face of adversity? Number one, uncertainty and ambiguity. Uncertainty and ambiguity. When God called Moses, Moses wasn't sure of what God has in store for him, right? Same thing with Joseph. Even despite the fact he had dreams, God revealed certain dreams to him, but he wasn't really sure of of the things he's going to encounter in life, of the challenges, the roadblocks he's going to encounter in life. All right. So, Moses faced immense challenge as he led the people of God out of slavery in Egypt. He faced challenge. Joseph was sold into slavery by his time and imprisoned in Egypt. Yet, in the face of adversity with faith and honesty in God, he succeeded. So, when you are going through the phase of adversity, it is time for you to start building up your faith in God. That's the best time you need to start building up your faith in God. I think it is the best time for you to move closer to God the more, right? It is the best time for you to build that meaningful relationship with God. Number two reasons why people find it so difficult to make bold decisions in the face of adversity is lack of confidence. Lack of confidence. When you lack confidence in yourself, you automatically place limitations on your potential. The level of confidence you have determines your level of productivity and exposure, right? The level of confidence you have determines your level of determines your level of productivity and exposure. Because when you are bold or confident, there are certain steps you take that seems crazy to people. Is why some people would say, when maybe for instance you are acting in faith, you are acting based on the faith you have in God. Some people would say you are crazy. Some people will tell you what you are doing doesn't make sense. There is no meaning to what you're doing. That's because they can't really see or sense the picture you have in mind. So it's why I tell people, right, whenever you are discussing your vision or your ideas or whatever God has dropped in your heart, don't talk to people who can't see a clearer sense or who can't see a better picture of what you are seeing. So one of the ways for you to get encouraged as an individual is to discuss your dreams and your visions with people who have same foresight as you, who are willing to be part of the dream you are building, who are willing to be part of the vision you are building. Not everybody will develop the same concept as you, but find people around you who you know would encourage you once they listen to your visions, once they listen to your ideas, once they listen to them to the stuff you want to do. So, lack of confidence is one of the reasons why people find it so difficult to make bold decisions in the face of adversity. Lack of confidence. They are not bold in themselves. Even after receiving a vision from God, after receiving an idea, they still cannot utilize those ideas. They can't even utilize their gift or talent. Talk more of them receiving another vision, or talk more of them receiving a better idea from the Holy Spirit. So you must learn what it means, right, to have boldness in oneself. You must learn what it means to develop your self-confidence as a person. So that's why I said my tonight's message is not just talking about leaders alone, it's talking to you as an individual. My message tonight is talking to you as an individual. That in the times of adversity, in the times of uncertainty, what do you put on God? In God, what do you do in face of adversity? How do you navigate through the challenges and ordeals of life? So the second reasons why a lot of people have failed to make bold decisions in the face of adversity is because they lack confidence in themselves. If you really want to move far in life, it is one thing for people to tell you what to do. It is another thing for you to know what to do and develop confidence in getting those stuff done. It is one thing for you to know where you are heading. It is another thing to develop the confidence needed in order to get those stuff done. So vision is not just something you receive and you are reluctant about, you don't want to get it. Vision itself demands boldness. Vision itself demands confidence because there are certain things you have to do that people will call you crazy. Would you now feel would you now feel discouraged or because people are saying you are lazy, people are saying you are crazy, you don't know what you're doing. Would you now because of that feel let down not to do anything? That shouldn't be the focus for you. The focus for you is whatever God has dropped in your heart. Tell yourself you are bold enough, you are confident enough to get the stuff done, to get the task done, to get the ball rolling. So when people lack self-confidence, there are certain things that happens to them, right? Or what are the signs? Okay, what can we say? Why do people lack self-confidence? Number one, okay, let me say this way. The issues with lacking confidence in oneself, right? The issues in lacking confidence in oneself. Number one is inability to make decisions. Number two, difficult to cast your visions and dreams. Number three, you lack trust and confidence in people. You lack trust and confidence in people. So people who lack confidence in themselves will definitely lack confidence in people. People who lack confidence in themselves will find it so difficult to cast their visions and dreams before men, before people. Trust issues in the first place. So if you can't trust yourself to carry out that assignment, how much more you trust in another person to hear the vision in mind, to hear those ideas in mind? So the next one is affect productivity and performance. So those who have issue with having confidence in themselves because they have lacked the prerequisite needed in order for them to be bold enough to do what God has laid in their hearts, right? It affects their productivity and performance. It affects their productivity and performance. Number three is judgments. One of the reasons people find it so difficult to make bold decisions in the face of adversity. People find it challenging to take bold moves in the face of adversity because of what they fear. Because of what they fear. The fear of judgment, the fear of crucifixion, the fear that what will people say to me? I mean, they are so scared. They are so scared. Scared of people's opinion about what they are doing, scared of people's judgment about what they are doing, scared of people's criticism about what they are doing. See, because I have seen certain people whose fear of the unknown has led them back, has led them back in order for them not to be who they want to be. Because of fear, they quit on the project. Because of fear, they quit on the dream. Because of fear, they couldn't proceed further. That's because of fear, fear of the unknown. People say, fear of what my colleagues at work would say. But who cares in the first place? Who cares? All right. So number four. Okay, before I move to the next point, let me say this right. There are actually five things to look out for when being judged by others. There are five things to look out for when being judged by others. The first one is source of the judgment. You have to look at the source of the judgment. Who is the person in question judging you? Are they knowledgeable or just giving uninformed opinions about the things you have in mind? So you have to understand the source of the judgment. Because many of us, when we hear people judging us about certain things, we quickly jump into conclusion. We end up saying this person doesn't like me. This person is an antagonist. This person doesn't want my success in life. This person doesn't want me to grow. This person doesn't want me to be a better person. But that is not the case. So there are five things to look out for when being judged by people. Number one is source of the judgment. Recognize the source of that judgment. Where is the source of this judgment coming from? Why is this person antagonizing my dreams or my vision? Right? Once you understand the source of the question the intent behind the judgment. Question the intent behind the judgment. There's always an intention for everything. There has to be a reason why the person is judging your vision, judging your dreams. There has to be a reason why the person is judging your capacity or your ability to grow. So you have to judge or question the intent of the judgment, right? Learn to distinguish between criticism and feedback. Is the judgment meant to criticize or be of help to you? Always learn to check the intent behind those judgments. So what it's saying here is you have to distinguish, right, between criticism and feedback. So being criticized is not the same as getting feedback from people, right? So people can criticize you for what you are doing. There's something called constructive criticism. There's something called constructive criticism. So there are people who just want to criticize what you do, not you in person, but Maybe some people are speaking from that idea of I actually wanted to get better. See, it's why I tell people you need to understand or learn the art of communication. There's a way you communicate to people that doesn't make them feel judged or feel criticized by what you're saying to them, right? So, is the judgment meant to criticize or be of help to you? So, once you realize that the reason why this person is criticizing you is actually to discourage you from doing what you're doing, then that's one there is criticism. Is criticism, and if the person is actually criticizing you to make you a better person, then that right there is helpful. That right there is helpful. So you have to learn how to distinguish between feedback or criticism. So the first one is what, find the source of the judgment, understand the source of that judgment. The second one is what, question the intent behind the judgment. The third one is impact of the judgment on your self growth or on your self worth. Impact of the judgment on your self worth. The impact of the judgment on your self worth. Deprive you of your self-worth, right? Is the judgment depriving you of your self-worth or pedigree? So the judgments you are getting from people, is it depriving you of who you are? Is it depriving you of working on yourself? Is it depriving you of your self-worth or your pedigree? So it is something you have to put into question. So I can tell you for a fact, if somebody is judging my work or criticizing my work, I put those things into perspective. I put them into perspective. I don't just believe whatever anybody tells me because I know I even if I'm lying to people, I shouldn't lie to myself. Even if I'm pretending to others who I'm not, I shouldn't pretend to myself. So you must come to that times where see everything still boils down to understanding who you are. Yeah, everything still boils down to understanding who you are. I question, yeah, I put my intent into question. I put my intention into question. I question the things I'm about to do. And me questioning the things I'm about to do gives me more clarity. Some ways actually, it gives me more clarity. It gives me more idea on how to carry those plans out very well. So do not let external judgment defines your self-esteem. Do not let external judgment define your self-esteem. A lot of people are doing what they are doing today because they don't want to hear from people saying, "Oh, your life is useless. You're not doing anything." Can you imagine that? So don't let external judgment defines your self-esteem. All right. Don't let what people are saying define who you are. Don't let what people are thinking. Don't let their opinion define your totality, define your essence as human. All right. The fourth reasons why people the number four thing to look out for is truth in the judgments. The truth in the judgment. Even if the judgment seems harsh, find valid reasons in the judgment to also make certain changes. All right, find truth in the judgment. All right, the first one I said, the source of the judgment. The second one, intent behind the judgment. Question the intent. Put the intent into perspective. All right, why is this person judging me? Why is this person sounding this way? Why is this person criticizing my work? The next one I says impact of the judgment on your self-worth. Impact of the judgment on your self-worth. And number four says truth in the judgment. So you must find truth in the judgment. No matter how bad it sounds, learn to find truth in the judgment. Learn to find truth in the judgment. All right? Because I believe if the person is trying to criticize you, right, just take your time, reason through, and ask yourself the question, well, no matter how painful I get, there has to be a reason to hold on to, right? There has to be something to hold on to in this judgment. There has to be something to hold on to in what this person is saying to me, right? And that's why I said this the other time. Don't lie to yourself. Don't pretend to yourself. If people are criticizing your work, check areas you're not doing well. Check the areas you're not performing, you're not performing so well, right? And try to adjust, try to get better in it. Try to adjust and try to get better in it. All right. So we've come to the end of tonight's section. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Please, if this is your first time streaming me live on YouTube or on Facebook, let me share the link with a friend. All right. So they also can learn from what I just dished out tonight. So what I talked about tonight is making bold decisions in the face of adversity. Making bold decisions in the face of adversity. All right. How can you, as a person, make bold moves, bold decisions, right? Um, in challenging the status quo, all right, or inspiring others to push beyond their limits, inspiring others to push beyond their limits. If you want to be a person of change, you want to change lives, let it change. Start with you. You want to change lives, you want to be of help to people. Let it help start with you. All right. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope I come again in the next couple of days to give us another intriguing message. God bless you. Do have a wonderful night rest. And I sign out for now. Thank you.